Hello viewers and learners of the Postgraduate Diploma in Environmental and Occupational Health. I am Dr. Sushmita Bhaskar, working in the discipline of Environmental Studies at the School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. Welcome to this session. Today we will discuss on the topic occupational health hazards faced by the child workers. This forms a part of the course MEV 005. The course name is Occupational Health and Safety. Often you might have seen that children would be working in various types of industries. They may be involved in the tanning industry, in the construction industry, in the brick and the kiln, forming construction sectors and other places. They may also be employed in the agricultural sector, and you might also have seen them in the rag picking and other kind of chores that the people employ them to do. So it is pertinent for us to understand whether a child can be employed below the age of 14 in such industries, especially in the hazardous occupations when they are exposed to certain toxic chemicals and the toxicants, and what drives them to such kind of a profession, like what makes them join such industries and such hazardous occupations at a very early age. And we will also see whether there are any laws that are there for the children, and what are the actions that we can take about preventing the child workers and the child laborer and so on. In spite of the overall economic growth, child labor, it remains a widespread problem and a growing phenomenon presently, especially in today's world. According to the International Labour Organization's conservative estimates, the child workers constitute over 18% of all the children aged between 10 and 14 in the developing countries, and at least 7% are found in the Latin America, 18% in Asia, and 25% working in Africa. The objectives of this lecture. After listening to this lecture and this session, you will be able to define child labor, summarize the occupational hazards and the risk of the child workers that they are facing in the various sectors, and discuss the laws for the protection of the children. In the developing countries, especially economic stagnation, unemployment, massive rural migration and accelerated urban growth, they are aggravated by the rising cost of living, the increased poverty, and therefore we find that there is increased incidence of the child labor. Many of these children, either they have run away from their homes, or they are orphaned, or they have also been abandoned. So they are deprived of nutrition, the health care, and also the education that they require. Child labor can be found in the various industries, in various types of the services. Let us see them one by one. Most of the children are engaged in agriculture, as I said before. They are also employed in the small scale industries and enterprises such as brick making, food processing, handicraft and the carpet making sectors, in the waiters in the bars, then in restaurants, as domestic servants, as scavengers or rag pickers in the dump sites of the metro cities, or in the self-employed marginal economic activities in the streets. So these are the various sectors where you can actually find the child laborers. Children also work in hazardous industries such as glass manufacturing, construction, mining, and also quarrying. For many of them, work is an ordeal, and that is characterized by exploitation. Excessively, they are working for long hours, they have very low pay, they have heavy physical loads. If you see a child, he is very different from an adult. So is it right for him to carry so much of load on his head or on his body? Inadequate working conditions and also the exposure to the occupational hazards. So these are some of the problems that are faced by the children. Now the physical and the psychological neglect and abuse are particularly evident in the cases of the bonded laborers and of the children who are working in the streets, and then they may be exposed to drugs, to violence, and they also may be involved in certain criminal acts. Every child is entitled to the right of survival, the right for protection, participation and development. However, owing to certain problems such as poverty, broken families, then unemployment by the parents, then neglect of the children below 14 years, then they are forced to work. So how do we define child labor? Child labor is often defined as work that deprives children of their childhood, of their education, of their potential and their dignity, that is harmful to physical and also their mental development. It refers to work that is mentally, physically, socially or morally dangerous and harmful to children and interferes with their schooling by depriving them of the opportunity to attend school, obliging them to leave school prematurely, or requiring them to attempt to combine the school attendance with excessively long and heavy work. Working children are a vulnerable group as compared to adults because there are several reasons for this. So what are the hazards that they face at work? Children's physiological, anatomical and psychological characteristics, they differ biologically very much different. They are different from the adults, and these differences make them more susceptible to the hazards in the workplace. For example, they are likely to work in excessively hot, damp, dusty or even unsanitary conditions, and that can favor the transmission of certain communicable diseases. Then they may be exposed to certain toxic chemicals and other hazardous agents that will increase the risk of chemical hazards, that is chemical poisoning, and neurological or respiratory disorders. Children are also exposed to work overload, then fatigue, then stress, ergonomic strain, and all this can then cause injuries, impaired growth and development, disability and adverse health effects. Physically, the children often suffer from fatigue because of their frail and their growing body structure, and their metabolism is also different. Then they also suffer from exertion more quickly than the adults when they are exposed to the long working hours and they work for long and also monotonous period of work. In malnourished children, those who are suffering from vitamin deficiency, from certain mineral deficiencies, then carrying these heavy loads that can aggravate certain health disorders and conditions, and it can also result in the malformation of their growing bones. Then they also have the possibility of contracting chronic occupational diseases such as lung cancer, and this is increased when the children start working at a very early age, and then they will have a longer period of cumulative exposure to the hazards. So what can be actually done? Since child labor is directly related to a country's socio-economic development, it cannot obviously be eliminated completely, immediately, but eradication should be the long-term objectives. So almost all the countries have passed the national legislations prohibiting the child labor, especially in the hazardous sectors conditions, or at least they have defined the work conditions under which the children may work. Where there are no available schools, the children are likely to be lured into the labor market. Many parents are illiterate themselves. They do not realize the immediate importance and the need for attending school. The expansion of primary education and development of the alternate skills are essential to ensure that at least young children under the age of 12 years, they do not work. Then the education and the training programs, they should be designed to provide opportunities. Let us take an example of a case study that happened in Jamaica. 22 children in Kingston in Jamaica, they were treated in the hospital for lead poisoning. You all know that lead is a heavy metal, it is a neurotoxicological agent, and also it causes the kidney toxicity. So between 1986 and 87, the effects that occurred to the children, that included the damage to their kidneys, to their liver, to the nervous system, and also to the reproductive system. Their growth was also impaired and their blood formation interfered with. Investigation revealed that most of the source of that lead, that came by the ingestion of the soil that was contaminated with lead fumes or the lead dust that was generated during work in a local repair shop. And this was top article in an international journal of epidemiology published in 1989 by the WHO Geneva. So there is epidemiological evidence of the greater impact of certain occupational exposures on the child health as compared to the adults. Adverse environmental health conditions, they can affect the children more as they have negative effects not only on their health but also on their development. Children are more prone and are at more risk than the adult because of the rapid skeletal growth, the organ and tissues development, greater risk of the hearing loss, greater need for the food, rest, higher chemical absorption rates, smaller size, lower heat tolerance due to their physiological, immunological countenance, and some additional factors also contribute to this. Documented reports show the impact on their health, especially poverty related, like it could be malnutrition, fatigue, anemia, certain psychological effects, distress of the child labor, occupational cancers, neurotoxicity, injuries exposed to the adverse physical factors, skin ailments, and so on. The tools and the machines and the equipments that are used at the workplace, they are normally designed for a normal adult, and thus they used by the children that would result in certain serious problems. Also, children are not aware of their rights and they lack power, increasing their vulnerability in such situations. They are at a higher risk of physical, mental and behavioral problems related to work than the adult workers. Child labor has been considered exploitative and illegal by many of the international organizations and the countries. So it was a common practice during the Industrial Revolution and the period following it in many parts of the world. However, it was recognized as a problem, especially in the developed world, and as the society evolved, there was promotion of universal schooling and children's rights, and from then it has shown a decline. The current status of the child labor is that a recent report of the ILO, approximately 168 million children worldwide are in child labor, and that accounts for almost 11% of the child population as a whole. Among these, 50% are the child laborers, 85 million are working in the occupations that are really hazardous. So this is really unsafe for their development. The incidence is highest in the underdeveloped and the developing countries, and it is highest in the sub-Saharan Africa, where more than 1 in 5 children is working as a child laborer. And also in the Asia and the Pacific regions, they have the highest number of children in child labor. It is estimated that in India alone, 70 million child laborers aged 5 to 14 years work in our country. So 80% of the India's child workers, they are employed in the agriculture sector, and a large number of them are also employed in the stone cutting, in the mining industries, which are also hazardous. The other occupations where they are employed in include the construction, the domestic work, small scale industries, and then in bangle making, beadi making, in the power looms, and all these industries, they use certain toxic metals like lead, mercury, manganese, chromium, cadmium, benzene, pesticides and the asbestos. All these are harmful to their health. The children undergo rapid growth and development of the organs and the tissues, and that is why there is a higher probability of them getting affected. The rate of absorption of the chemicals by the various roots is also higher, and due to their small size, the toxicity of the hazardous chemicals is also more. According to the ILO, in Sri Lanka alone, more of the children they die from pesticide poisoning on the farms and the plantations rather than the childhood diseases such as malaria or the tetanus. And they also work with the machinery and the sharp tools, and the farm workers are using knives and other sharp tools. They operate near the heavy machinery or they work on the ladders. It was also noted in a certain place that the children working in the agriculture were exposed to long hours of the pesticide exposure while they were sprayed in the field, and then they complained of the headache, dizziness and irritation of the eye and the skin. So none of these children were provided with any of the protective equipment by their employers, and then they had actually fainted and fallen down, and they also experienced certain convulsions after the spraying of these toxic chemicals in the field. They also face psychological and the mental health problems, like for example they can face isolation, abuse, exploitation, and all this can lead to the certain serious health hazards. Then in a study, the prevalence of the mental disorders was noted because it is higher in the child worker, among the street worker, domestic workers, in the private enterprise and the workers aged between 5 to 15 years as compared to other children of the similar age group. Automobile workshops and garages. So by the cleaning and polishing of the vehicles, loosening and tightening of the nuts and the bolt, oiling, fitting, cuts and bruises, working with toxic chemicals, they can also have the rusty metals which they are exposed to. Then they can have several diseases like diarrhea, cholera, dysentery, and also dermatitis and the scabies problems. Those who are working in the brassware industry, they can be exposed to the toxic fumes, dangerous and corrosive chemicals, molding furnaces temperatures which go up to high of 1100 degrees centigrade, and they don't work with any of the protective gears. Then they can also handle the corrosive acids and they can first burns. They can have vision impairment due to the chemicals like isocyanates, formaldehydes and so on. Respiratory disorders and orthopedic disorders are found in the children, and that can lead to asthma, bronchitis, tuberculosis and also certain spondylitis, ankylosis and also spinal deformities. Brick kilns, like the clay, the brick making, then all this will involve a lot of the loading, unloading, and the children are exposed to silicate, carbon monoxide. So these are quite toxic to their health. So they are working in conditions of extreme heat and dust, and they are surrounded by ash and the fumes. So then the carbon monoxide fumes themselves, when that is inhaled in the brick furnace, that can cause poisoning, itching in the eyes due to the smoke and the flying ashes. In the same way, during Diwali time, you would have seen that where do your crackers come from? Have you ever thought about that? So there are several child and the children who are working in the match and the fireworks industry, especially in Sivakasi in India. There are toxic chemicals that are used in these processes like chlorates and sulfur. The chlorate salts are highly combustible. They are strong oxidizing agents. They form explosive mixtures with organic matter, sulfur, sulfides, powdered materials and ammonium compounds. An ingestion or inhalation of these chlorate dust is equally harmful. Then it can cause congestion, coughing, sore throat, methemoglobinemia, fainting, dizziness and also anemia. So you see the related amount of problems that children face when they work in such industries. So what is the prevention and how can we eliminate child labor? We know that education is a very important tool and early intervention is very important, and education is important for the development of an individual. Studies have shown that the low school enrollment ratio that is associated with increased rates of the child employment. Enrollment of children is very important from early intervention for prevention of such child labor, as it restricts their participation in child labor. The laws for the children, let us see some of them. The Factories Act of 1948. This act prohibits the employment of children below the age of 14 years in any factory. The law also places rules on who and when and how long the pre-adults aged 15 to 18 years can be employed in any factory. The Mines Act of 52. This prohibits the employment of children below 18 years in a mine. The Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act of 1986 that prohibits children below the age of 14 years in hazardous occupation identified in the list by the law. The list was expanded in 2006 and again in 2008, and in 2016 the act was amended to prohibit the employment of child below 14 years in all the occupation except in non-hazardous family businesses of the child artist in the entertainment industry and also in the sports sector. Further, adolescents between 14 and 18 years will not be allowed to work in hazardous industries and processes. The Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of the Children Act of 2015. This law made it a crime punishable with a prison term for anyone to keep a child in bondage for the purpose of employment. The Right to Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act of 2009. This law mandates free and compulsory education to all the children ages 6 to 14 years, and this mandated that 25% of the seats in every private school must be allocated for the children from disadvantaged groups and the physically challenged children. So therefore, from this lecture we have understood that childhood is a time for playing, childhood is a time for playing, and children should get their education. The socio-economic conditions of every family should be improved, and only then we can actually fight this problem of child labor. I hope you've had a good understanding of this session. Thank you for your patient listening.